Hey everyone, welcome to Sideshow's First Look. Today we're taking a look at the Miles Morales 2020 suit by Hot Toys from Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. The box is of a slipcover design. The front of the slipcover is clad in weathered silver, dotted by various vector shapes, and features Miles Morales wearing the 2020 suit bursting toward the viewer in a familiar Spider-Man leap. The game's title is superimposed over his torso, and at his feet is even more text identifying the suit variant within. While it appears that the dynamic image of Miles breaks the confines of the image, the slipcover is actually designed so that it wraps around to either side. Both sides of the box feature title treatments, making it easy to identify the figure when stored in box on a shelf. Each side also features a chromed out figure of Miles Morales flying through the air. Removing the slipcover provides collectors with the first glimpse of the figure through a full-length window cut in the front. And around to the back, a montage of imagery shows off the posing capabilities of the figure and teases the unique display option with its base. And a bit of text at the bottom provides collectors with a bit of background while also describing the contents of the box. Alright, out of the box, we find the figure and all its accessories come protected by a double clamshell. The top unit carries the Miles Morales 2020 suit right there in the center, and it's surrounded by a wealth of accessories, including an array of 8 additional hands, 2 swap-out palms that can be used to implement some of these webs, a web spread effect, 2 interchangeable faceplates to vary Miles' expressions, and a holographic projection of Peter Parker wearing the Spider-Man Advanced suit that can be used with the environmental base. Speaking of which, the second clamshell contains all the remaining elements you require to construct this figure's unique base, designed to evoke a control center or workshop environment. Those accessories include several 6-scale monitors in various sizes, as well as a multitude of supports and cables to affix them to the base. Among those cables is an actual USB cable to provide power to your collectible. And beneath the second clamshell, you'll find the backdrop for the base, allowing you to further enhance the immersive qualities of this figure in your display. It's important to note that when handling figures with glossy surfaces, we highly recommend that you wear white cotton gloves. Alright, with all the accessories laid out thusly, things start to become a little mind-blowing. Starting with the figure itself, right there in the middle, long and lean on that base, clad in that wicked jacket and with all those glossy details. We'll take a closer look at that in a minute. To the right of the figure, you'll see all 7 of the web effects, including all these effects meant to be used with the web shooters, as well as this spread web effect. You'll notice that the figure includes a pair of relaxed hands out of the box, but those hands can be switched out for any of these 8 additional hands, including a pair of wall-crawling hands, a pair of web-shooting hands, a pair of fists, and a second pair of fists for clutching the webs. Speaking of webs, these 2 little guys right here are swap-out palms for the hands that will enable you to attach the webs to Spidey's web shooters. In front of the figure, you'll notice the 2 swap-out faceplates with alternate expressions, allowing you to really bring out the emotion in the character. And here on the left, you'll see all of the elements necessary to construct the thematic base, including the backdrop, 4 monitor pieces, several supports and wires, the USB cable, and the holographic Spider-Man Advanced suit figure. Alright, let's take a closer look at this figure, starting with the head. Less of a mask and more of a helmet, it's a high-gloss portrait that features a somewhat skull-like silhouette. The spider eyes are somewhat visible beneath the translucent faceplate and will illuminate from within once the figure is powered up. Rotating around to the back, the glossy translucence gives way to a solid matte black with accents of sky blue, and a pair of wires plugs into either side of the head at the attached earphones. The construction of the jacket is a crowning achievement of this figure. Multiple panels and materials pop in tones of black and red, accented by gold piping. The sleeves are pushed up, and the jacket itself is very short, accentuating the long physique of the figure beneath. The hands themselves we find to be translucent at the fingertips, bringing yet another element of the fantastic and the futuristic to this already exciting figure. Emblazoned across the chest is a fierce logo, peering out from beneath another glossy, translucent cover like that on the helmet. Turning the figure around to the back and lifting up that jacket, you'll find the plug for the USB cable as well as a switch to activate both of the light-up features on the figure. Following the headphone cables down to the belt, we find some sort of phone or MP3 player attached with a magnet. The cable is permanently attached to the player and should not be removed. Moving on down to the legs, the multiple panels feature a variety of shapes and patterns on their surfaces, and the stripes at the sides of the legs lead all the way down to the shoes, which are of a high top variety, highly detailed all the way down to the soles. On to the articulation. Again, starting at the top, you'll find the figure will give you a few degrees of lift to the chin, and that the chin will drop a comparable amount. The head will also tilt slightly to either side. And the instructions clearly recommend that the head only be swiveled 70 degrees in either direction. The shoulder will shrug, row, and press via a complex joint there. The arms will provide a full 90 degrees of lateral raise via a ratcheted joint, as well as 90 degrees of bicep flex. A cut at the top of the bicep will also allow you to rotate the arm at that point. The torso will give you about 45 degrees of ab crunch via a ratcheted joint, with slightly more extension to the rear. The torso twist is admirable at a comfortable 45 degrees to either side. A ratcheted joint in the hips will allow Spidey to almost fully do the splits. And each leg will lift 90 degrees to the front and about 60 degrees to the back. The double jointed knees will give you about 120 degrees of bend. And a cut joint at the thigh will allow you to rotate each leg a bit as well. And finally, the soft material of the shoes combined with the single ball joint on each foot will allow you to raise, extend, supinate, and pronate Spider-Man's feet to an impressive extent, especially given the uncut nature of the shoes. Now we're taking a closer look at the accessories, starting with the hands, and this is all of them. These gesturing or relaxed hands will be included on the figure and can be swapped out for any combination of these others, including the wall crawling hands, the web shooting hands, the web gripping hands, or the fists. The web accessories that are included with the figure include these two swap out palms for the web shooting hands, which will enable you to attach certain web accessories to the hands. There are two short shooting webs, two attachment webs, a web with a coiled effect, and another web with an L-shaped grip. Additionally, this web spread effect can be added to most of the other webs. These two swap-out faceplates can be used in conjunction with the tinted shield on the helmet in order to achieve alternate expressions. The collection of 4 monitors and a laptop, along with various supports and cables, can be assembled to form an environmental base. And you can add this holographic Spider-Man figure to the top of the laptop for even more flair. This environmental backdrop can be added to the back of that base to create more depth and really draw the viewer into the experience of this figure. Speaking of the base, here's a closer look at the foundation of it. In addition to the game's titles, there's a gorgeous electronic futuristic vibe to the graphics. The figure can be attached to it via a flight stand. This has been Sideshow's first look at the Miles Morales 2020 suit 6-scale figure by Hot Toys from Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. Be sure to tune in to Unsealed, Unveiled, and Strike a Pose for even more 6-scale figure shenanigans. If you'd like more information about this figure, follow the link below, and as always, don't forget to let your geek side show.
Did you enjoy that video? Be sure to subscribe by hitting the S icon on your screen and click the bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under product info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.